Hi guys. Hi everyone. My name is Salamata. Welcome back. Welcome back to Salamata speaking. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Like the fact that the universe has brought you here in this moment to listen to me speak to you right now is amazing. It's fascinating. It's beautiful. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and your presence. Like thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the podcast. If you have any feedback of any sorts, DM me on Instagram. It's Salamata0. That's Salamata0. And let's get into the pod. So today I want to talk about confidence. Confidence is important, like it's a big part of life. And I feel like everybody tells you to be confident and they never tell you how and they never even like tell you what it is. So here I am. I'm gonna tell you all the things. Just keep listening. All right, before we even get into it, let's define what confidence is. I'm going to give you Merriam Webster's definition, and then I'm going to give you the definition me and my boyfriend came up with. That sounds great to me. So, Merriam Webster says that confidence is a feeling of self assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's abilities or qualities. So, basically, that to me is like when you're comfortable with the state you're in. Like you're comfortable with yourself, you're comfortable with your abilities, your skills. That's what confidence is. Now that we've defined confidence, we need to talk about the importance of confidence. Confidence is just really important because when you like yourself, life is just that much more exciting and easier. You're able to put yourself out there to make friends, to get a job. And so when you like yourself and you're able to make friends, you're able to find a community of people who appreciate you because you know your worth. I think that's one really important thing about confidence is that when you are confident in yourself, you are going to only keep good people around you because you know what you deserve. You won't allow people to treat you like shit because you know you're worth more than that. Like that's what confidence comes down to for me. Because if you like yourself, you're only going to like surround yourself with people who also like hanging out with you because everyone here recognizes that you're an amazing person. Because we all have been in friendships and situations where you've been with someone who treats you like shit and you've accepted it just because you didn't like yourself. Like, that's the only reason you've accepted it. And I think a part of healing too is like forgiving yourself in that situation. And if you're there now, leave. I would tell y'all to leave because you deserve better. Truly, that's what it comes down to. You deserve better. So, thinking back to like friendships and relationships that I was in that like made me feel awful. I only stayed because I wasn't confident. I only stayed because I thought that's what I deserved. So being confident is knowing that like you deserve more than you're receiving. So you're going to demand it. And that can only come with confidence. So I'm going to tell you how to be your best confident self. The first step to confidence is literally accepting yourself. You just have to like accept the fact because this is a fact. You're stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. Like this is what you get. So you just have to accept it. Like once you accept it, you can do better. I think the key to body confidence, self confidence is neutrality. You just have to accept that, like, number one, this is my body, this is who I am. And that's like the basis, that's like the ground level. You just have to like accept yourself. The next step is to practice your craft. This is more specific to like you aren't confident in your math skills or you aren't confident in like the job that you're doing. Practice. Practice. Put in the work. It does take work. If you want to be a better singer, practice. If you want to be a better writer, practice. If you want to become a better dancer, you just need to practice. Like obviously, I think there certainly takes a level of talent to like master these things, but like hard work is half of it. That's why musicians are always like the music industry is 95% business and 15% talent. That math did not add up, but you know what I'm talking about. Practice doesn't make perfect, but practice makes better. Practice makes improvement. And with practice, you're going to be confident. We did plays and musicals all the time, and even in mock trial, like the first time you get that script, You're scared. You're like, how am I even gonna do this? But the more hours and weeks you take to practice, the more confident you become because the more comfortable you become with any of the material. And so when it comes to self-confidence and like how do you practice being yourself, you just be it. You take into account the moments in which you feel most like yourself and you create those moments for yourself more often than you've been experiencing them previously. Like I noticed when I danced, I felt really like myself, so I just started dancing more. And that just made me happy and made me confident. I didn't say I was a good dancer, but it made me feel good, so I did it more, and it made me happier and more confident. And my next tip, which I know you've probably already heard, is fake it till you make it. You have to know that, like, it takes practice. And, the way you become confident, the way you become the person that you want to be, is by practicing that. And you might not feel that you're ready for that moment, so you just fake it. Fake it till you make it. In Euphoria, the episode during Lexi's play, Maddie said she felt stupid until she decided not to. That's the truth. That's like the way to confidence. You just have to decide and wake up and decide one day that I like myself. I will do things to make myself happy because I deserve it. I am worth more than I've previously been treating myself. You have to get up and decide. You might not believe it, but the more you tell yourself that and the more you show up with that energy, it will start to become true. It will just manifest into your energy. Like, you have to understand that the things you say to yourself really matter because they seep into your subconscious mind. And this is going to get me into my next point. It seeps into your subconscious mind, which is what's always running. So tell yourself nice things. You might not believe that you're beautiful now, but the more you keep telling yourself that, the more you're going to start believing it because it's actually true. You are beautiful. You are talented. You are amazing. You are funny. So start telling yourself that so it can become your reality. I just talked about your subconscious mind. Listening to music is one of the best ways to build confidence because you don't really have to do anything. You just have to put it on, you just have to press play and listen. Make a playlist of songs that make you feel good. Songs that make you feel like that bitch or, that guy. Songs that make you feel good about yourself, make you feel good about living and being alive. Songs that like excite you about the life you want to live. Play those songs, listen to them, vibe with them, sit with the music. We are in a society right now where like listening to sad music is a personality trait. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Billie Eilish was my jam, and I still love her music. She's a talented writer, she's a talented musician. But listening to sad music all the time will make you a sad person. So listen to more upbeat music, more light stuff, more things that inspire you to become a better person. I make multiple like manifestation feel good playlists. If y'all want them, hit me up. Hit me up. Follow me on Spotify. Do you know how many playlists I make? Listen, I love music. I love music. DM me. Let's talk about music. But literally, compile a playlist of songs that make you feel good and start listening to that. Listen to it first thing in the morning when you're getting ready. Listen to it when you get out of school. Listen to it while you do your assignments. And you will start to feel good. You will start to feel light. You will start to look at the positive things in the world because that's the things that you're consuming. Don't listen to Adele every day. Do not listen to Olivia Rodrigo every day. Why do you want to be bitter? Don't let yourself be bitter. Find the joy and sweetness in life because it does exist. And the more effort you make into noticing it, the more it comes into your life. A nice and easy way to build confidence is by making a vision board of who your most confident self is. What do they wear? What do they watch? Who do they think? What kind of people do they associate themselves with? Like, what is their color palette size, um, aesthetic or niche? What do they spend their time doing? What do their bank accounts look like? All those things. Like, who is your most confident self? Put them on a vision board Maybe write a little page or description about them and stick that to the vision board and put the vision board somewhere where you can see it. This is very important. Put it in front of your mirror if you're a mirror type of person, like you're at your mirror all the time. Put it on a gallery wall. Put it somewhere, put it in front of your bed. Put it somewhere where you'll see it every day. It's really important that you see it every day so that it becomes a part of your routine. It's ingrained in your subconscious. And then subconsciously you're working towards being that person because that's what you aspire to. I've been making vision boards since I was teeny tiny because they made us do it in school. Like I can't even remember. We were always just making collages and stuff. I make collages for projects, for work. I'm always making collages, collages for designs, all of that stuff because it gives you a visual representation of what you want to achieve, and seeing it every single day ingrains it into your subconscious. And it's kind of just nice to look up at the wall if you're a musician, like, okay, there's a Grammy. Okay, I'm going to get a Grammy. I'm going to get a Grammy. I'm going to get a Grammy. If you say something enough times, I think you can make it happen. Obviously, you're going to work for it and you're going to, at this point, have like been practicing your craft and stuff like that. So it is coming, but looking at it every day and reminding yourself of it is what makes it more powerful. Another thing that instantly makes me feel confident is taking a shower. That seems so simple, right? But like taking a shower takes goes a long way. Um cuz you just after you take a shower, you just feel clean, and then you take that time to moisturize and you're spending time with yourself. And that's when I tell myself my affirmations. Like, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're successful. You know, you tell yourself that as you lotion your body. And then when you're picking an outfit, you're like, how am I feeling today? What will make me most confident today? What outfit will make me most confident today? Some days it's heels, some days it's sweatpants, one day it's leggings. So you also, I think style is a very important part of confidence. A lot of people talk about how wearing baggier clothes makes them confident. Some people wearing a crop top and shorts is what makes them very confident. And for me, it depends on the day. So dress for the occasion and dress for the weather, but also dress for yourself. Dress for what you need in that moment. That will truly help with your confidence. Number, I don't even know what number we're on, but the next one is people don't think about you as much as you think people think about you. Let that one sink in. People do not think about you as much as you believe they're thinking about you. Think about how selfish and egotistical that is to be like, yo, that person sitting across from me right now is thinking that I'm ugly and I'm stupid. Why do you think they're thinking about you that way? Maybe they're not even thinking about you. Maybe they're like, shit, I forgot to brush my teeth this morning. Like, everybody is in their own head, and I promise you, they are not thinking about you. This is one of those realizations that, like, freed me from caring about what other people think or have to say because 9 times out of 10, they aren't thinking about you. And when they are, it's good thoughts. I freshman year, I went to a new school. I was in a completely new environment, and people would always stare at me, and people would always stare at me. And I don't dress really crazy, or at least I didn't think I dressed really crazy. Looking back now, my style was struggling. But people would look at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I look stupid. My outfit is dumb. Da da da. And then I talk to the same girls now, and they're like, I always thought you were so cool. I always noticed you. So just coming to that realization that, like, because we're all in our heads critiquing ourselves, nobody's judging you. Nobody's thinking about you as often as you believe they are. So free yourself from trying to live up to other people's standards. You're your biggest critic, so you believe that everybody else is judging you to that amount. which isn't true because everybody's too busy judging themselves to that amount. And when people are looking at you a certain way, you just think to yourself, they love me. They love my outfit. And that sounds crazy. It sounds delusional. But why can't you create a happy, delusional space in your head for yourself to live in? I'm really big on using social media as a tool because we're on social media. It's inevitable. You're listening to this podcast because you saw that I posted it on a social somewhere, or you're listening to it on a social platform right now. We are on social media. We will probably always be on social media because it's so ingrained in our day to day life. Because we're on it, we need to find ways to make it a positive experience for ourselves. And for me, that was following people who looked like me and people who came from where I came from. Following Fulani creators allowed me to believe in myself and believe in my craft, that like where I come from doesn't hinder the growth or potential that I have. Like I can do exactly what any other creator is doing, but it became even more possible for me when I was following Fulani creators who were making businesses, who were making poems, who were on plays and stuff. Seeing people who came from where I came from do the things that I wanted to do made it real for me. Like I can be a playwright and I can be a writer and I can be a dancer and I can have a startup and it be successful. You know, I can make it somewhere. Like who I am should never stop me from doing the things that I want to do because let's be honest, a few years ago we didn't have all that. Like all you saw was like, you know, Emma Chamberlain and like Hannah Maloche and you know all those girls who didn't look like me, and so it was just like, damn, like you got to look like that to be successful. No, follow people who look like you that are successful. It's really important. It's a simple one, but it's so important. Representation is huge. It's huge. It changes the way you perceive yourself and it changes the way you perceive success. Success becomes more attainable when you see people who look like you in positions of power. But also on a simpler level, following black creators and watching tutorials um, of black people, like watching makeup tutorials and like seeing the products that they use and why those products worked for them was a huge difference. Like I was over here buying products that like these, you know, fair skinned, blonde, blue eyed creators were telling me to use. And they obviously didn't work for me because those products weren't made for me, you know? So following the black creators who shared like the foundations that actually like will match your skin tone and how to contour and highlight, how to conceal blemishes, you know, even concealer. Like I was over here using ashy concealers because those are the ones that the white creators recommended. Obviously, like that's what works for them, but that would never work for me because I don't have white skin. Never in a million years would like an extra light concealer work on me, even though that's what they're using. Watching hair tutorials by black creators. This one would obviously seem like self explanatory, but it did not click for me until a year ago. Literally a year ago is when I started watching hair tutorials by black creators with black hair. Isn't that weird? And watching those tutorials, I was able to learn so much more about my hair. Watching curly hair videos from people who have type 4 hair, life changing because they're like, you need to think about your porosity and the type of products you want to use, cream or liquid, use water. My hair started growing and now I like my hair. I wear my natural hair more often. I literally wrote my college essay on my hair because representation matters. Seeing Viola Davis and Lupita Nyong'o wear their natural hair, I was like, I'm rocking a fro. I'm rocking a fro. It's really important that you consume media that honors you, honors your people. So if you're an Asian American, you know, or whatever culture you're from, there is a creator out there making content for you. Find them. It will change your life, whoever you are. If you're Dominican, yo, there's so much representation. And if you don't see that representation, maybe you become it, you know? Maybe you're the trailblazer that every other kid is waiting for. It takes confidence for you to say, oh my God, why not me? It does. That's one of my favorite quotes. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? I saw it on Teffy's profile and I was like, whoa, hold on. That just changed my life. So now when I think about going for opportunities, I'm like, nah, bro, like I'm not good enough for that. I just think to myself, if not me, then who? Who else is better than me than doing this? And when I do think of people, I send it to them. I've sent people so many like scholarships, programs, because sometimes an opportunity isn't for you, and having confidence and knowing yourself truly will allow you to let go of those opportunities without feeling lost. That's a gem right there. My last piece of advice is to spend time alone. The first practice you need to start is to sit in front of a mirror and look at yourself and just let thoughts come in. And every single negative thought you have, you rewrite it. Every single one. So if you look and you're like, damn, my skin sucks, rewrite it with the truth. I'm a teenager who has experienced hormonal cycles and I have acne right now. Make every single thing neutral. And the things that you can make positive, turn them positive. I have a huge forehead. But every time I make that like distinction, every time I'm like, oh my God, my forehead is so huge, I think like, oh my God, I have a big forehead, which connects me to my ancestors. My dad has a big forehead. My grandfather has a big forehead. His father had a big forehead. And we will continue to have big foreheads. So it relates me to my family. That's the fact. That's the neutrality of it. Oh my God, I'm so ashy. Put on some lotion. Oh my God, my teeth aren't white enough. Go brush your teeth. Book a dentist appointment. There are things that you can fix that you don't like about yourself. If you can fix those things, fix them. But the sooner you accept them, the easier life will be for yourself. I used to hate being tall. I hated it. Being the tallest girl in your class sucks. Because I want to wear heels. I want to look cute. But then you're taller than boys and you feel so awkward. Which is why they made the movie Tall Girl. I didn't really like it, but it was cute. I love a bad movie, so I watched it and I enjoyed it. But I hated being tall. And then I just was like, the women in my family are tall. Being tall is cool. You know who else is tall? Gigi Hadid. She's Gigi Hadid. Naomi Campbell. She's tall. She's a supermodel. I'm gonna just call myself a supermodel. Stuck in a second grade classroom. You have to spin every negative thought you have to benefit you and turn it into something positive. Now, if you have those negative thoughts about your behavior, find a way to change your behavior. I'm always late. I know this about myself. I hate this about myself. I'm always late. So it's gotten to the point where I'll lie to myself about the time that I'm supposed to be somewhere. If I'm supposed to be there at 11:30, I will tell myself, okay, I got to get there at 10:30. Yes, I need that hour in advance just to make sure that I'm there at 11:30. You know, I hated that I wasn't self-disciplined. You know, I would always be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. Self-discipline, the thing for me was like I was putting too many things on my plate, but I also wasn't following through with my word. So there was no way for me to trust myself. And self-trust is one of those big things. Like, if you can't trust yourself, how are you going to trust other people? And if you do trust other people, your entire self assurance relies on somebody else that you can't control their actions. That's not a positive life experience. So I started working on those things. Self discipline, right now, I'm not spending as much money. I'm putting out podcasts. I'm doing my homework. All those things that I wanted to work on, I'm working on. Self confidence, self growth, self improvement, it all takes work. But that's the fun in it. You'll learn lessons, and the great end goal for me isn't like, oh my God, you're going to be a good person, you're going to go to heaven. No, the end goal is like, you'll find people who think like you, and you'll have good conversations with them, you'll have experiences with them, you'll travel with them. Like, that's my big end goal of like being a good person. But also at the end of the day, when you sit with yourself, you get to enjoy your own presence. When you learn to be alone and enjoy your own presence, you will only keep amazing people around you, which means the memories you make with people are going to be so positive. And no matter what happens with those relationships that you build, you know that it was like a positive experience. Like you learned something from them, they learned something from you, and you made good memories. Another way to practice alone time is stream of consciousness journaling. Ask yourself questions about yourself. Who am I? Who am I is a big question. Who am I is a big question. And the only way you discover who you are is by sitting with yourself, doing experiences with yourself. Um, I hate exercising. I really do. I don't like exercising. Um, but I love hiking. And the way I discovered that I loved hiking was because I tried new experiences. And I didn't make that distinction until I was sitting down one day and I was journaling and I was like, I think I need to exercise more, but there was that one time when we were hiking when I was at camp and I really loved that and that's a great source of exercise. And while I was journaling, I was like, oh shoot, I really do like hiking, so I should go hiking more. You have to sit with yourself and reflect on the experiences you already have had to figure out which ones you need to have more of in your life to make you happy, make you productive, make you excited to be alive. Another thing to do when you're spending time alone is to play those card games with yourself. We're not only strangers, skin deep. There's a few other ones. I think Jubilee has one as well. But like, ask yourself deep questions. What do you believe in? What do you enjoy? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? What are your big goals and why are they your big goals? What kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? What kind of person do you want to be? All of those questions you need to be able to ask yourself and answer them. And the great thing about that is like you'll learn who you are, and then when people ask you who you are, you have an answer. I've been sitting in a lot of interviews recently where they're like, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." And instead of rambling, I can say, "Well, I'm a very curious person. I love learning about people, different cultures, random facts. I'm the kid that sits by myself and watch TEDx videos. Yo, if you want to spend time alone, watch TED Talks, documentaries. I'm not a big reader, but reading is like essential. And those things only enrich your experience if you know how to think critically and be like, what is the source of this? What is their perspective? Why did they write this? What is it teaching me? So yeah, read books, TED Talks, listen to great music, go on walks. This is the second week I've went out by myself, not to hang out with people, but just to do things by myself. And it's so fun. It's so enlightening. I think learning how to move alone in the world will make you more confident in your ability to protect yourself as well. Thinking about taking self-defense classes. I think that's really cool and very important, especially as like a young girl. Now, me and my boyfriend were having this conversation of overconfidence and cockiness, and I think most people use that as an excuse to not want to be confident. Nah, I'm just humble. Like, I'm not really even that talented. And people like really talk down on themselves in hopes that they won't be seen as cocky. And I think women are forced to do this a lot more than men. Because as a woman, you're supposed to be sweet, you're supposed to be docile, you're supposed to listen, You're not supposed to brag about yourself. But Nicki Minaj talks about how if she talks about her accolades and her success, people see her as a cocky person. People tell her to sit down and calm down. But no one says that to basketball players. No one says that to wrestlers who are always talking about their championships. No one says that to men mostly. So, yes, you can be overconfident. Yes, you can be cocky. But do not use that as an excuse to hate on yourself. You deserve to celebrate yourself. You deserve it. Y'all, when I graduate, you're going to be sick of me. You're going to see that diploma so often because that took work. You become what you believe you are. And there is a level of delusion when you're starting to become confident, because that has never been previously your reality. You're shifting your entire mindset. If you thought you were stupid before, and then randomly one day you're like, I'm a smart person. I'm great. I'm awesome. I know my shit. It's a shift that you're going to have to get used to, and it sounds crazy for a while until it doesn't, and you get there by building confidence. And yes, there is always a possibility that you can become overconfident, but I think it's less likely if you're coming from a place of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key. You need to be mindful of not only the decisions you make, the things you say, and the way you treat other people. Because if you are truly confident, and I was saying this, if you're truly confident, you do not need to tell people that you're confident. Just like if you're really smart, you don't need to tell people that you're smart. Just the way you carry yourself and the way you speak and the way you talk and the way you dress can represent that for you. And the thing you need to remember about confidence is that it's really an illusion. I mean, the people that you might perceive to be the most confident might be the people who talk down on themselves very harshly. So make it your business, make it your job to be kind to people you interact with, because you don't know how far that goes for them. That's why I make it my business to compliment people. And that says a lot about you. If you're a person who compliments other people, that means you aren't jealous and you can see people shine and attribute that to them, which is really cool. So compliment people. It might go very far for them. It will go very far for them 9 times out of 10. You never know how you're impacting someone's life. So try your best to make it a positive addition. Because think about all the moments somebody said something nice to you and how that felt. Try to give that to people. So I try to smile at people because that's something very simple that, like, I live in New York too. Like, nobody really smiles, but smiling at people kind of give them a moment of softness and comfortability, make them feel good about themselves. There's also a beautiful art to that. People want to be around people who make them feel good, but don't compliment people in vain. See people, like, I don't know, if I see someone random in the street, I'm not gonna be like, wow, you have a beautiful soul, because I don't know that person, but I'll say, wow, I like your shoes, I like your hair, I like that outfit, and that makes them feel good about themselves. But when it comes to your friends, I think at some point it gets a little shallow to just compliment their appearance. You have to be saying something about the things that they attribute to your life. And that's when I feel closest to my friends, is when we can talk about the things they add to our lives. But also when I can see their soul, because it's like when somebody opens up to you, you need to congratulate that. You need to celebrate that. And so I'm like, wow, thank you for sharing that with me. You're a very talented person. Like, I don't know. I interact with a lot of creative people. And so I was like, wow, you wrote that song. You're a fucking genius. Because I really, truly do feel that way. And I hope that gives them the confidence to create more and to share to more people. If you're looking for more resources to be confident, I will create a confidence highlight on my Instagram at Salamata0 that you can check out. I'll link some of my favorite TEDx speakers about confidence. Ashley Graham did one, and I absolutely love it. I love Ashley Graham. She also has a podcast. You should check it out. Ashley Graham did one, and Teffy did one recently, and it was more related to social media confidence. So I'll link those in a highlight. Make sure to check it out. I just want to remind you that you are great, and that if you are on this confidence journey, you need to remember that it is a journey, and you won't just wake up with confidence. It takes steps, it takes actions, it takes decisions and habits to make it happen, and it is really hard work, and it does take a long time, but remember that is worth it. It is very important to be confident, and doing that work to get there And that journey itself will teach you so much about yourself and about the things that you want, that it is totally worth it. Good luck on this journey, and I'm really proud of you for starting. So let me know if you try any of these tips and how they feel for you. DM me, Salamata0. I do reply. If you're new to the podcast, thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you stick around a little longer, or forever. Forever, stay forever. Thank you so much again for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate you. Please come back for more episodes. You are listening to Salamata Speaking. Make sure to DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Salamata0. That is SALAMATA. The number 0. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an awesome morning, evening, or night. Bye-bye.